Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builders Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Donjo, part number 1458, 626 Satin Chrome Plunger Stop. This is a surface-mounted door holder is what it is. They call it a plunger stop. I guess you can kind of get the concept of why it might be called that. This sort of surface-mounted door holder has been around for decades. I mean, I've been in mid-century buildings, and it's, very common back then. In fact, there's probably a mid-century hardware catalog from a major manufacturer that has these in it. I don't know how far back this concept goes, but my guess it would be, I wouldn't be surprised if it was 19th century, would be my guess. You don't sell them a lot nowadays, but you do see them. You see them in older buildings, and they are reasonably effective. They're not very effective when you have a confluence of a smooth or polished floor and a door closer that's exerting a greater than average amount of closing force on the door. That will make that just creep along like that until it gets all the way closed. So people won't use these, or ought not use these in that application. That rubber is the term used to measure hardness of rubber. This is a little bit harder than what I would like, and it doesn't really, the concentric circles do a job at helping keep it in position, but there are times when it just simply does not. But they're common enough for us to stock them. That's the bottom line. Let's take some basic dimensional properties, and we'll talk about why you might be looking at it. Overall height of the body itself looks like it's about 5 1/4. Overall width down here, where it's going to mount to the door, about 2 9/16. Overall width up near the top looks like it's closer to 3/4. Then you got a projection of about 1 1/8. Okay. Nothing else is included with the exception of the 3 screws that you would need to get it attached to the face of the door. Okay. Now let's talk about why you might be looking at this video, what you might be using it for. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. I would imagine that you're looking at this because you're already familiar with the plunger style door holder. Okay, and you are either replacing an existing item, or you are familiar with them and adding them to doors that you need door holders on, and these work really great for your application. So you're probably already familiar with them. People, I don't think, know about these unless they've seen them or have used them. There are other types of door holders, both manual that require work like this, and those that are automatic as well. However, what manual and automatic models have, manual meaning there has to be a knowing act, a hook, a kick down, a push down, whatever that might be. Automatic, to where you can just push the door open and it will catch there. Of which Donjo has those as well. Sorry, I hit a speed bump. Of which Donjo has those. Devices mounted to the floor or wall and to the back of the door that will automatically hold it. What those manual and automatic have in common, however, is they are expressly prohibited from use on fire-rated doors. Don't put these on fire-rated doors. That would technically compromise the integrity of the fire rating of the opening. And why is that the case? Why does this expressly compromise the integrity of a fire door? Fire door has 3 commandments. 2 of them, anyone in the door business knows 2 of them. The third one's less obvious. It must be self-closing, it must be self-latching, and the door must be free-swinging. This type of hardware messes with the second of what I said, or the first of what I said. It's not self-closing anymore. There are rare instances where these are permitted for use, only under express permission from the authority having jurisdiction, but in almost all cases they're never permitted for use on that. You need something that is going to, depending on the code, there used to be things that would have a fusible link. Those are, as far as I know, no longer permissible. I did a job about a year ago in the year 2020 for 70 hold open arms for existing closers that were fusible link in Hawaii. And it's a hotel, and I had said to the client, listen, I'm happy to ship all these to you, but are you sure they're code compliant? Because they're not here. Because the amount of the temperature it will take to melt that lead link well beyond a safe habitable temperature range. The damage is done by then, before that door closes. So hold open devices nowadays will be tied to a fire alarm panel or some code compliant switch, an ionization detector, a fire alarm, whether it be a centralized panel that runs the entire building or something standalone. I did a job 3 years ago. Double egress doors, hold open, electronic hold opens, and the authority having jurisdiction approved smoke detectors on both sides of the opening. So that's what we supplied. It worked out just great. So there you go. Now back to a door holder. You're probably just looking to keep a door open, and you're familiar with this is the bottom line. We've gone over the dimensional properties. It is made of cast brass. To the trained eye, that evidence of that sort of texture on the back there does tell me that this is a casting. It's made of brass, not all of it, just the exposed part that has the satin chrome plating on it. Okay, trigger, switch here, plunger here. The common question is how far does that telescope? From the bottom of the brass housing to the bottom of the tip, it's about a 1/4 inch. When we throw that to its maximum, that dimension automatically becomes about 1 13/16 inches, so an additional 1.5 inches to be sure. It'll throw 1.5 inches is what it is. So the point is you can get this installed on the door to a location that you like, and you will be able to accommodate maybe a greater undercut than average or just a standard undercut. And if it's not obvious, it's clearly foot operated. Foot, and then your toe right on the tip of that, and that will trigger that closed or retracted. Let's switch to the screen view and let's take a closer look at the supporting information. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. Here's the item that we are indeed looking at, and what we'll do is we'll slide down here and take a look at the images that we have first. The packaging, the unit with its screws, the unit alone, close-up of the bottom end or business end showing the plunger retracted and then extended, about 1.5 inches for each there. We have some additional photographs here as well. I don't know if the tip is replaceable. It's certainly replaceable. The question is, do they sell the tip? And I will update the profile of this item accordingly once I find out. That's the back end of the unit. Now back to our item and the extended description down below. Give some dimensional properties here. A product catalog is here. I've also asked for a technical drawing or template from the factory. If they have one, we'll get that uploaded here. The link below this video to the product catalog, that's just going to be the section of the full line Danjo catalog when it comes to stops and holders. Let's just do a control, whoopsie. Let's do a find function on our keyboard for, and then search 1458. It'll get us to the page where we can see that item along with its more modern rectangular or square type product is here. This more traditional unit is more common in my experience, but there's variations of these plunger style holders by other manufacturers where they are variations on this shape, a little more torpedo shaped, but nonetheless long and rectangular or more angular than traditional and curved like that. This entire catalog will allow you to go through. My guess is that the 1469 tip will work on the 1458, but I will ask the manufacturer to confirm that. This entire catalog is stops and holders that I would very much encourage you to review if you're not sure which one is the right unit for your application. A variety of wall stops, dome-style floor stops, heavy-duty floor and wall-mounted hold-open and non-hold-open units, a utilitarian unit, 1480, really great for just a strip mall application. Steel doors on the outside. You just need something to stop it. Don't want to spend a lot of money and just need it to be effective. That's really great value right there. These are called gooseneck. If you use your imagination, you can see why it's called a gooseneck. Roller bumpers. You don't see these very often, and they're not always completely effective. But if you have a scenario like this, or even like this is more common. Having a straight bumper on there will be far better than nothing. Damage to the door will ensue. It's a botheration to have this door left ajar and you're trying to enter. Nice to have that roller bumper there. This is a model of heavy-duty bumper that is poured in place, meaning you'll drill a large hole and you'll install that with concrete or mortar. The ubiquitous kickdown style holders. The automatic that I had mentioned earlier. These are nice. They're loud though. You wouldn't use that in a residential application, although you could. Variations on that material. Typical baseboard style. These are flexible or spring type stops. Very inexpensive. They do have a model made of solid brass, the 1506, which means it would be in the architectural finishes listed here. Hinge pin style door stops, rubber bumpers for wood and steel frames, and then self-adhesive for whatever you'd like. More residential stops. That's an angle stop. You'll use that when you have a cased opening frame, center hung pivots, and a concealed edge pole. You'll need some sort of applied stop. This one can be used for a pair of doors or a single door. And there you go. Now there's a link below this video as seen here to the manufacturer's page, and from here we can pull up not only all of the Donjo products that we sell by means of this horizontal navigation as seen here, but also a link to the manufacturer's website as seen here, a link to the full product catalog, and then that full product catalog broken down into those subsections, of which we were just in one of them. And stops, holders, and bumpers is the catalog we were just in. Let's wrap up this video on camera. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. Okay, there you go. More on the plunger door holder than you may have expected to have read to you, but nonetheless, here it is. Pretty typical item. Donjo does not have these listed in all of the potential finishes. If you have need for a finish other than what they list, let us know. They'll probably accommodate us, or maybe they won't. But at the end of the day, we'll be able to get you a plunger stop in the finish that you want, whether it's the brasses or bronze or chromes or nickels, satin, polished, black powder coated, white powder coated can be done as well. I bet we can even do a red powder coat. Any questions on the 1458 plunger style door holder from Donjo in a 626 finish, which means satin chrome over solid brass, or any other Donjo product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you. Again, thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up, please subscribe, and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.